Good morning, friends, and welcome to the session. Can you hear my audio loud and clear? Okay, I got a tech check saying yes. So what I'm going to do is open the chart of Nifty and Bank Nifty both together. Nifty yesterday showed some strength, but Bank Nifty, if you see, failed to struggle. Intraday, it had a big decline. The reason being this, if I right click and add my 50-day moving average, this is Bank Nifty, and I'll add the same for Nifty. If you notice, Bank Nifty has closed below the 50-day average after a strong decline. On previous two occasions, here the 50-day provided support. Here Bank Nifty whipsawed the 50-day, saw a small rise. Again, Bank Nifty whipsawed the 50-day moving average for 2 days and then saw a strong decline. So now again, Bank Nifty for the last two trading sessions is on Wednesday, it closed below that. Thursday, it went below that, but the closing was more of a doji. So this says that Bank Nifty is showing weakness and further decline in Bank Nifty. If Bank Nifty is going to break this low, which is Wednesday's low, we can see some decline in Bank Nifty, and we can say a high has been reached over here. And we don't expect any rally going forward in Bank Nifty. So today it's going to be decisive for Bank Nifty. Let's see where it closes. Now let me remove all. So this was the low. It did whipsaw, which means close below that, but did not break the low. Here also, it whipsawed, but again, both the time it closed above the 50. So let's give it a 1 day, but Bank Nifty is a sell on rise. We'll avoid buying dips in banking stocks for a day. Let us see how it resolves today. Because if a decline is coming and if you buy stocks at lower ATR, probably you will not get a bounce or they will just keep on drifting down. So either banking stocks are sell on rise. Even yesterday, then I will, and Nifty did decline towards the 50-day. But it held the 50-day and rallied. So even from here on, I don't see some strong moves for Bank Nifty. Any further up move, and this gap is just 60 points from yesterday's closing or high, will encounter some stiff resistance out there. So don't be very bullish by yesterday's candle, because we all know that it was too tough to make money in any of the stocks if you bought, in spite of markets going up, other than Reliance. So Reliance probably contributed more than 90% of yesterday's rise. So now, as I said earlier, if you are a day trader, you have to bring in Reliance on a day-to-day basis, because it gives you the desired volatility. So now let's see today whether there is a follow-up happening on Reliance. Will Nifty close the gap? So now let me remove both. So once again, the defensives, which is your pharma, will be into picture. I wouldn't hesitate to buy pharma on dips or declines. Right? So bring in your pharma stocks today. So let us mark the intraday setups. First, we go towards 60 minutes. Yesterday, Bank Nifty filled this gap over here. And this was also yesterday, 22% ATR, and it declined. So we'll keep this yesterday's high, which is a rally and a pause or a decline, as a resistance level to Bank Nifty. For support, it comes down to this low. You had a low over here, and then let's take full candle. Yesterday, this did test this support, and then you had a bounce. So Bank Nifty likely to stay between yesterday's high, which is going to act as a resistance, and Wednesday's low, which is going to act as a support. If this low is breached, probably we would see that there will be a strong weakness going forward today in Bank Nifty. Let's see how it pans out. And let us see whether the levels are, where the levels are in terms of location. For that, we drop the fib ATR. Right. So this support is within 78% retracement. And this the 22% is above this high. So let's see whether Bank Nifty today tests this or the rally fizzles out at that. Because yesterday this move was more of a short covering in, or you can say an index management game out there, because yesterday there was a weekly expiry. Similarly, let's go to Nifty. See, the way yesterday Bank Nifty filled this gap and declined, let's see whether Nifty does the same today or not. And again, if Reliance is not showing weakness, probably Nifty will not show weakness. So it's very important if you are trading Nifty to keep, so honestly, in top-down approach, first you look at stocks and index here, the mover. So Reliance is like one of an indicator as far as for you to trade Nifty, because you might see Nifty as a resistance, and if Reliance doesn't fall, that resistance get taken out. So Reliance is a moment, is like your momentum indicator, like averages RSI. So Reliance has become an indicator for Nifty. So this is the daily resistance, the gap itself over here. Let's go to 60 minutes time frame charts. Yes, it has crossed this high. So I will take this entire as a resistance, which is 50 points from current high. And then, sorry, resistance I'll mark with red. And support was yesterday it declined, then it rallied. And then the next support is the gap fill over here. Now let's check the location with fib ATR. So in Nifty, the setup location is coming right. This resistance is around 22 ATR and the support is around 78 ATR. Right. So this is on a 60 minutes. If I change it to 15, which is your trading time frame, there is no much difference out there. It remains the same. For Bank Nifty also, I go to 15. There is not much difference. It remains the same. So there is a weakness in Bank Nifty and strength in Nifty. And the strength in Nifty is only because of Reliance. Right. So let's check the global markets. Yesterday, a Dow declined 400 points. See, what happens is there is a decline in Dow, and then you have futures, right, which are trading positive. So futures is Dow futures is now not a good barometer of what the Dow is going to do next day. So and now and today being a Friday also, I would trade on a cautious note. So US futures are a bit positive, 100 points. If I go and check Asia, Hang Seng and Nikkei are both in they are both in green. Fine. So that's Nifty and Bank Nifty. Nifty is a sell on rise. Bank Nifty is a sell on rise. Bank Nifty, probably I wouldn't be that much interested to buy dips at 78. But for Nifty, Reliance being the key, dips can be bought. Fine. So, but ultimately, if you see that this decline in Bank Nifty, Nifty did decline in spite of Reliance there. So intraday moves, which a trader wants, do come in. But because Reliance is part of Nifty, there was a bounce over here. Short covering, I would suggest, because yesterday there was an expiry. Bank Nifty did not cross above this high, but Nifty did cross above this high. So you can clearly see an underperformance in your market in which only one stock is contributing to this move in, which is Reliance. So let's go and check Reliance. On a daily chart, I had posted it, this chart also, there was this sloping flat sort of a pattern which had broke out and it had given a rise, which was over here. So it was a big, and intraday yesterday, if you use your 5 or 15 minutes bar and a breakout in Reliance, probably you would have caught this move on the upside. Anybody yesterday traded Reliance? Yeah, lots of you traded Reliance, fine. And say Reliance, if you are a day trader, you can't remove Reliance from your day-to-day trading. Let us bring in Reliance today. If I go to 60 minutes, well, this high was reached in Reliance. Whether a continuation, so then again it becomes a breakout trade Reliance once this high gets taken out, right? And if you notice throughout yesterday, there were buyers as far as 60 minutes is concerned. There was no pause. So then we go to 15. In 15 minutes, there were for 5 minutes. So the first decline in Reliance, this high will keep it as a reference. So there was this 1, 2, 3, 15 minutes decline. It paused here, and then again a rally started. So this is going to be our first support for Reliance. Then wherever there was a low reached on a 5 minutes is going to be a support for Reliance. So let's see what Reliance does today, whether it reaches this high, breaks today this high, the rally continues. We'll come to know only once this breakout happens, or it will dip down to these two support levels which we have marked. And after a 2 days strong up move, these are event based moves in Reliance, right? But one thing for sure, that if Reliance makes a new high, if Reliance is showing a strength, then all your short trades, if you have not squared up, get disturbed, which means you are making M2M profits. You waited for further levels, but Reliance didn't decline. So again, Nifty climbed back to the levels at higher levels. So trading Nifty, that's something which you have to keep in mind. You all, if you are trading Nifty futures, then keep Reliance by your side, because any weakness over there will only translate into weakness in the markets, or else at such a strong move, everybody has been left out of Reliance. So what happens is, any dips or declines, those who get left out, their buying comes in Reliance. So Reliance is one such stock which is just not stopping, and every dips over here qualifies as a retracement buy. So till this is going, I don't know how will Nifty correct in a big way. Bank Nifty, it's fine, it can, because there is not a single leadership stock in Bank Nifty. Kotak earlier was showing strength, but even now Kotak moves along with Bank Nifty. So clearly, the Bank Nifty is showing weakness, wherein Reliance, being part of the Nifty, is showing strength, and Nifty thereby is getting pulled up. So how long this will continue, we don't know. From the March low itself, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, for the 6 months, this is continuing. Reliance providing the leadership for Nifty. And today it makes sense for you to check all the bank stocks to see the strength or weakness, along with so since we are using a 50-day moving average on Bank Nifty, we will use the same on Bank Nifty stocks. So Axis yesterday went below the 50, came down like this, and then it climbed up, right? So Bank of Baroda, we don't trade. HDFC Bank, let's check. HDFC Bank is the only bank which is showing strength and is above the 50. So why we do this? Because once Bank Nifty is at support, so such stocks like HDFC, right, can be bought at around even below the 50, expecting a minor pullback or a bounce. So I wouldn't hesitate to trade HDFC Bank on the long side. Then you have IndusInd Bank. IndusInd Bank is a bit of a stocks which move on its own. Yeah, it's well above the 50-day moving average. Kotak Bank has breached the 50-day average. Then all the PSU banks have contributed to the decline. And if you look at State Bank, yesterday it closed below, sorry, on Wednesday it closed below the 50-day average. And yesterday it was more of a doji. And there is a gap. See, the gap fill are always a good sign, because to fill this gap and to close it and to rally, you need some really strong buying emerge. So which is not the case currently. So even SBI, if it goes towards yesterday's high, so your stop loss is just 1 rupee, the gap fill, where it is going to be a good short. So that's the banking stocks. And let's bring in pharma, because if something is going to, so Reliance is moving, Bank Nifty is not moving, pharma being defensive, we need to take a note of this. So then you have Aurobindo Pharma. See, the only thing is pharma is, once it's declining to lower levels during the day, you are seeing the bounce over there, right? So at least it is giving you a tail if you bought at, let's say, a 78% fib ATR on the downside. So on a day like today, Friday, where we do expect volatility, where things are a bit at resistance, right? The rules today would be very clearly defined. Trade only around the ATRs, midway, avoid trading. Other than if we see a 5-15 minutes break in a stock, we might go ahead and take a trade, but that will only come to know when market opens, right? You have Biocon, which moved up yesterday, right? So again, see, pharma, if it dips down to 78% retracement, pick up a support level, figure out a stop, which is below the candles around the 78% mark, right? And place your stop loss. Same thing with Cipla. And most of these guys are showing strength. And even if you notice Cipla, on a Wednesday, it came around the 50-day. See, now 50-day is going to be your good barometer. Cadila is below 50, so leave Cadila for a day or two. Let it climb above 50. For you to trade long, pick up stocks which are above 50-day average. And the one which are below, wait for a deep retracement towards 78 or 180 are in between for a trading bounce. So I would term Cadila as a stock showing strength compared, sorry, Cipla. Why? Because it held the 50. And Cipla, excuse me, does qualify as a breakout trade. 1, 2, 3 days high is over here. If the high gets taken out, Cipla will give you a spike or a move on the upside. Davies has a big gap over there below 50. Probably I don't think we are trading Davy intraday. Same thing Dr. Reddy's. Let's see whether today Dr. Reddy's around. See, there might not be any support on intraday, but if it comes to the 50-day moving average, let's check it out with this. And the 78 is also there. So then it does qualify for a intraday trade. So let me just note it down, the stocks I'm talking. So keep a watch on pharma. The ones which are above 50-day, when they are coming and testing the 50-day on the downside, we are seeing some pullback out there. So see, now your short-term average is like 20 and all has no relevance, right? Market has now decisively, stocks have tested the 50 and moved to 50. So keep a watch today as a day trader on A, Cipla, B, Dr. Reddy's. On the defense, see now you'll have to be with a mix of defensive. Both Cipla and Dr. Reddy's are bio and declines. It's all this talk. Let's Glenmark came to 50 and it had a strong bounce on a Wednesday. So keep in mind the 50 period average. Same thing Lupin, it came to 50-day. For the last 2 days, it did see a steady up move. So you might be wondering, there was no support over here. Why did prices move from there? See, the 50-day average is known as a medium-term trend descent. And once stocks are above the 50-day, the first test of the 50-day itself becomes your buying point. So we can say that pharma, medium term, their trend is up, and test of 50-day, none of the pharma stocks other than Cadila went below the 50-day average. So even Cadila, once it moves above 50-day, you will see strength emerging in the stock. Right? The same way look at Biocon. It went below 50, but the moment it crossed above the 50-day, there was a strength in Biocon. Right? And Biocon also today qualifies as a breakout trade. Yes, this was the high. And yesterday's high was a doji above that. Right? And when you say breakout trade, your 5 or 15 minutes high been taken out, then the low itself becomes your stop to trade long. So Biocon is both, see, either it can retrace down or it doesn't retrace. Straight in the morning, it gaps up little bit and continues on its way up. So please keep in pharma now into your radar. Banking stocks, another reason for banks is there's a big NPA and also this news going on interest being waived and stuff like that. Nobody wants to take a call on banking stocks. Anyhow, why should, if I waited so long for banking stocks and now it's September will be ending, fine. So post September, all the results for the banking stocks will come out. So far, none of the banking guys have declared what the NPA is, what the moratorium is, how much money has come in, how much is not coming. Nobody knows, has a clue about anything right now. But they can't hide it, or they can't now say anything, but they have to disclose this in the September quarterly results. So that's the reason nobody wants to take a call on a banking stock as far as buy and hold is concerned. So that is what I say, not you and me, the big guys, the smart money, or what we call the strong money or the fund money. So now post September results, everything will be known, how much loan was on moratorium, how much is paid, how much is not paid, how much the NPA will be there. So the clear picture as far as the bank stocks are concerned will be only known once the September quarterly results are out. So that's 20 days from current. If somebody, that's the reason there is no buying coming in banking stocks, right? So, and the only banking stocks where the moratorium and stuff like that, because is HDFC Bank is more into consumer, and that too among the salarized class. So that's why it's showing strength, HDFC Bank. Rest of the bank, nobody has a clue what will happen, right? So Biocon is there, keep a watch on it. Lupin again, let's see whether, see the only thing is after a 2 days up move, either it crosses this high and you have a 3-day, or look for decline and support for the stocks which rallied strongly, which had an ERC. Fine. See the stock which have an ERC, intraday dips are declines to be bought, like Lupin. Right. Piramal, we are not trading intraday. This is Sun Pharma, and Sun I would avoid trading Sun because in Sun lots of news comes in FD approval and stuff like that all point of time. Fine. So this is Sun Pharma, and it has closed below the 50. Let buyers come in, push price higher, and let it close above 50 for it to draw my attention. So again, I go one by one. Oro has closed below 50. See the ones which have closed below 50. Earlier, you also had Biocon which had closed below 50. So wait for these stocks to go close above the 50 for you to become very bullish on the stocks. Or else pharma being a defensive, as a day trader, fine. As a day trader, I'm not going to do breakout trades in such stocks. It's fine it's absolutely fine, even if they are below 50. You can go ahead and do your retracement trades if you find intraday dips or declines, right? So that was pharma. And another stocks, which let's give it a try for a day. It is troubling us for too long, is liver. See, the only problem is once a stock goes, so today I would suggest that the topic under discussion is stock selection. In that we are using 50-day. Why 50-day? Because it has prices have come to there. And why not 10 and 20? It has breached 10 and 20. Right? So at every point of time, this we call it as a occurrence of a technical event. Everything is revolving now around the 50-day moving average. So which means that it says if one by one all the sectors are going below 50, it also tells us there is trouble for the markets. Okay. So if you see lever, it has breached 50 over here. Then once it breached 50, there is a lots of to and fro movement over there. Finally, the rallies which you see happen only once it goes above the 50-day average. So this thing is again being repeated in lever over here. The picture is similar, right? So as a day trader, it is very boring to trade, but I like stocks which are boring, honestly. For excitement, please go to your indices. See, the picture is similar over here and currently. Your 50-day being breached. Momentum, the strong in terms of trend, only comes above 50-day average. But at the same time, if I plot the 200-day average, on lever, it is coming to there. So repeatedly, lever is testing the 200-day, the way it was doing here, and giving you those intraday bonds. So probably 8-10 rupees are to be made in a lever if you get it at those highs, sorry, lows, right? So now we are similar to here. Let's see whether lever takes off from here or it breaks this thing and comes down another 2%. So that honestly, we don't know right now. So I'll just remove 50 and 200-day, it is coming. So even if lever, if it breaks today and yesterday's high, then probably you'll see a move in lever going up till what? The 22, which is another 10 rupees to be made. So I wouldn't mind buying lever around 25 odd levels. Buy in two trans. Lever is one such stock that it is a drifter on its way down. It doesn't crack very hard. Right? So lever, keep one boring stocks, not all stocks which you keep bank or indices or Reliance which are exciting. So lever, I'll keep a watch on both. Right? So sorry, let me again drop. Yeah. So you have 200, you have 78. So if I wait for 78, I may or may not get an entry. So I'll divide my quantity into two parts between 200-day moving average and 78% retracement, and keep a stop loss or risk for risk management. Your Wednesday's low. Right? So that's a lever because it's a steady moves. Either it will take away your 5 rupees as a stop, or it gives you 10 rupees as a drifting up move. That's what we are seeing in lever. So still at any point of time, 1 to 2 is your reward to risk ratio in lever. Right? So let's set up the charts. Market is about to open and I'll also go quiet for a while. So today, the way in terms of scanning, look for the markets, the broader markets, the sector index. At any point of time, your averages come into play. It is 10, 20 or 50. So today I'll make a note of it also. And the way I posted on Bajaj Auto, the breakout never happened. Right? So today the topic will be the prices trading around the 50-day average. So let me set up everything one by one. So wherever I have my Nifty chart, just below that, I will always put my Reliance chart. So quickly I'll have to do it. Market will open. So we had taken this. And for support, we had taken this. This I will quickly change to Reliance because below Nifty, I always want to have my Reliance. I'll change it to a 5 minutes. So this is Bank Nifty. 1 second, it will open. So Bank Nifty, yeah, I'll take entire this as a resistance. And yes, it moved. This entire I would take it as a support, this basing, fine. So then we talked about lever, Biocon. And before market opens, I'll just keep this, fine. So let me mark this breakout level for lever and then Biocon. The Nifty is, if Nifty is breaking this, what we say, sorry, Bank Nifty, then immediately you can move in your banking stocks for either long. I would avoid it, honestly speaking. Yeah, you can do some little bits over here at this bottom. 1 second. This is what, yeah. So Biocon is last 1 day and 2 days high. If it takes out, you could see a spike or at declines. Let's see if something opens. Market is likely to open flat. So I've kept Reliance and Nifty on the bottom, Bank Nifty over here where it opens, then lever and this thing. So there might not be any trade straight at the open. That's what the markets is suggesting. So I'll be quiet for a minute, let it open and settle. So market has opened and Bank Nifty is negative. So if you see today, lever again, where straight it opened at the 200-day average. and from there it bounced. If you see lever, so this is the importance of planning. If I go to the daily and you made your money in the first tick itself, so if I go and add again, uh, so it just opened, dipped down to 200-day moving average. You had enough time to place your order. Can you see this? And from there it rallied. So let me drop a line over here to 2127 on a 5 minutes. Yes. So it's just dipped their lever. So this is why I always believe first plan your stocks, a set of 4 or 5. So now you don't have to do anything. You have made your 10, 12 rupees in lever first thing in the morning. Shut down your computer. Fine. Reliance also tested the support which we had marked. From there, it has given some 10, 15 point bounce. But lever, I would suggest, was a good trade today, because if below 50 comes your 200 and repeatedly is tested 200. And this was a traded price, which means that if I go to 1 minute, right? If you had put a bid straight at the open, you would have got your entry. So again, lever today tested the 200-day moving average, and this high is there. Let me check the location also. If you waited for this thing, probably you wouldn't get. So there are days in which something becomes your anchor as far as your decision making is concerned. So for lever, it was the 200-day moving average. Nifty is today going up. Why? Because your, Bank Nifty today suddenly is showing strength. But I wouldn't trust Bank Nifty till it doesn't break this high. Let me go to 5. Probably it would be HDFC Bank. So I would say a lever, the trade was done, and 10 rupees at the open is good enough a move for you to exit also. So straight on, you got at yesterday's high. So let's see whether it breaks out 44 and gives another rise, or the first move is over. Remove the chart if your trade is done. Come back to Biocon. Let the first 5 minutes candle get formed. Right? Reliance also was a touch and go at 2286. And this is 20 rupees as a day trader. It's good enough of money to be made. Reliance also touched this level. It bounced, translating into today both Reliance plus Bank Nifty is giving strength to Nifty. So this is, see, the best trades in a volatile markets are the ones which you get in the first 15 minutes. So if you get trades as per your levels in the first 15 minutes, please go ahead and take the trade. Don't shy away because it has just opened. Let me see how market settles down and stuff like that. Don't do it. You will miss majority of the opportunities. Right? So that, but to take this, you just can't open your charts at 9:15 and then click and trade. No, you have. See, all these levels I have written in my diary, the stocks and all stuff like that, 50-day average, last night only. So I was planned and prepared for certain stocks. Lever, yes, I have done it. I'm out also. Reliance, since I was talking honestly, I missed my Reliance. Because the first dips after a strong up moves are always to be bought. So anybody got any trade in the morning? And now Bank Nifty has come to yesterday's high resistance. Right? Reliance has bounced, but notice today the open and the high for Reliance is same. Let me now close this also. Let me close Bank Nifty also. Let me bring it to Reliance. Right? So now for market to rally, Nifty to rally, fine. We need to see Reliance above today's open. If open and high same, we don't know whether, no doubt we got a bounce from here, whether it will come here or here. So once the today's opening is taken out, then we can see Reliance further moving towards yesterday's high or showing strength. In that case, there would be a big up move in Nifty again. But till that point of time, we are going to see a flat Nifty and a rising bank Nifty today. Probably let's see what's moving this bank Nifty. I think it has to be HDFC. Okay, SBI is up. See, SBI is up, no doubt about it, but up till where? Yesterday's high and gap. Even yesterday, SBI showed strength, but from there it declined. And SBI has got good weightage in bank Nifty. Keep that. So SBI fills this gap. Probably I would look for shorting opportunities in bank Nifty. Fine. So don't get carried away by the strong first 5 minutes candle. Because at this level, SBI is the moves are fizzling out. And let's just check in terms of location. And it's also is around 70 to 80. Right? So Bank Nifty came up to 50. Your stop loss was just 30 points from there. And then just sit tight. Either you'll get stopped out above yesterday's high, or it came to as see what happens is just drop a line midway if you think your zone is big, which means your resistance is big. Take midway, take a short, right? And then your stop is above this high. Let's see what happens. Or if you think it's too much, don't take a trade, go to safer stocks like Lever and stuff like that. So Kotak has, yeah, sorry, 200 day, let me remove it. Yeah, Yes Bank has also weightage in Nifty, and that moved up 50% is providing this strength in Nifty. It's Yes Bank. Fine. But let's go to Lever. Lever made your day, it has come to yesterday's high. So a boring stock today gave you your day traders money first thing in the morning. So that's how planning helps you. And just remember now at this level, either stocks are around 200-day average or around 50-day average. Look at both the averages on the stocks. The ones which are testing around those levels are the one which will give you a good trading opportunities. For 26, it's now 44. So anybody traded Lever? No. Are you getting my voice loud and clear all? I didn't get any answer. Okay. So this is like one stock, had you planned properly and had lots of confidence and conviction in Lever. Why? Because it's the same over here and over here. This picture was just playing in my mind. That at 200 day, if I buy, there is money to be made in Lever. So now don't think like a retail. Yes, it can break out, can see a big up move, but I'm not going to now be interested. If I bought at 200 day, the last 2 days high was my target. If it breaks this, it can go further higher, it can rally. Yeah, everything is possible. But now I'm not interested. Getting my point? So don't hesitate to take your trade first thing in the morning if your level come as per your planning. Don't wait. Thoda market abhi khul gaya hai, thoda settle hone do. Don't try to do that. Once market settles, the opportunities are gone. Remember one thing. Fine. Bank Nifty around yesterday's high. Once market settles, you don't get any trades. Let me be very honest. The lever was a flyer today. 200-day tested. Had you placed a bit straight in the open, you got it. And now it will just languish. Let's see whether it breaks this high or not. See, breakout after a decent up move. Will it do 55 over here? It can do that. But for that, still your stop is, then your risk reward gets disturbed. If you don't take the trade at the right level, your reward to risk gets disturbed. Fine. For the first 5 minutes candle has been formed. 15 minutes candle will be formed. If 15 minutes highs are taken out, again there might be a move in lever. So let me remove this. So Bank Nifty, we got it right. It opened straight at the resistance 36, and now it is, so that's 30-40 points to be made on the short side on Bank Nifty. Reliance, so Reliance dipped down over here. It has taken out this high. First 5 minutes high in Reliance has been taken out. Fine. So again, Reliance might test this level or here. So these are like breakout trades. You join by the way of your moving averages or plain price breakout. See, if the stock has to move higher, then in between where to place your stop loss will be at the ATP. Or you can take it on a 1 minute, because given the volatility which is at 12, so that again is a 12 rupees stop loss in Reliance. Right? Yeah. So Reliance today is showing strength again. Why? Because the 5 minute high has been taken out in Reliance. So once it happens this way, what happens is that the entire 5 minutes itself becomes your support. If I mark it over here, so till today's low is not breached now. Today's low itself becomes your stop in Reliance for trading on the long side. And if I draw a trend line from here to here, fine, connecting two highs, it has been constructed. So once it breaks this, you might see a follow. Now, after a strong up move, even if Reliance stayed sideways, the sideways the spikes are 10, 10, 15, 15 rupees, which are good enough for trading opportunities. Yeah, this, as we were talking, the one boring stock which everybody neglected, today giving its move. So this was first 15 minutes or 5 minutes. So now it has gone above yesterday's high also. See, now if you are buying, you are chasing a stock. 55 has come, which is your 22% ATR. Even at 44, it was still 10 rupees to be made in lever. So now you see the buying coming in. Now don't please jump. It's time to book your profit as a day trader. Fine. So today I think our session went well, because these were the stocks which I had planned. Lever did give me that bounce which I was looking out. First, first it was a retracement buy at 200-day. Then it took out last 2 days high. And then from it moved by 10 rupees. Reliance has, see, breakouts. Fine. Yeah. So then you have to take a stop loss. This is for Reliance, you are chasing the momentum on its way up. So take the last low on a 5 minutes as your stop loss, or 5 minutes candle low itself as your stop loss, which are big given the volatility in Reliance. So lever has fired. Bank Nifty again has not crossed this high, yesterday's high. Right? So anybody took a trade on Reliance? Sorry, lever. 2 days, lever frustrated me, gave 10 rupees throughout the day. Today, it worked wonders. Fine. So don't leave a stock because it's not moving for a day or two. Nobody bought, nobody was long on today. Lever. Yeah, you thought it's a boring stock. Don't leave your stock. Fine. There might be days as a day trader. Fine. Something has frustrated you. Bank Nifty again. I was 50-day average playing on my mind. Gapped up straight at resistance. Had you bought any of the banking stocks, probably you would have been stocked out. So I'm not going to chase bank stocks at momentum. Lever was the only one as per the plan. Fine. And I guess it has touched the 22 ATR. Can you see it here? Now it doesn't make any sense also to buy lever. So then the language is there. Take trades first 15 minutes in the morning. If it comes, first 5 minutes also, if a level comes, now please go ahead and take a trade. Don't believe in all this thing that let market settle down. Once market settle down, it becomes very crowded. Somebody's Kamlesh is saying Reliance breakout, right? So on that note, I leave it with Bank Nifty hitting the resistance. You made some money on the shorting side. I don't want to go long on the banking stocks. Lever was something on the long side, both on the retracement at 200-day. Then you had a test of 22. So on that note, friends, hope you liked and enjoyed this session. If I find something today, I'll just prepare a note and put it the way I put in Bajaj Auto. Fine. Stocks which today it was the relevance was the 50-day moving average. Great, Madhur. Yeah, Madhur took a trade in Bank Nifty, made money. Great way to start, Madhur. So at least somebody took a trade. I'm very happy. So thanks, friends, and have a nice day.